Yes guys, and welcome to another video. Now I know that I did say over the last 2 or 3 videos that I'm not going to be just making videos willy-nilly every time we're linked with someone, because otherwise we're going to be making a ridiculously long video every single day because we're getting linked with sort of 6, 7, 8 new players every single day with very little meat to the bone of those reports. However, since then there has been 2 or 3 players, well 3 in particular, that I'm going to cover in this video over the last 24 hours that seems to have progressed, and there does seem to be at least a bit of meat to the bone, and it helps as well that I would actually be incredibly excited if we signed any of these players, let alone all of them. That would be fantastic. You know, it's a lot easier, it feels a lot better to make videos about a player that I'm excited about. Sometimes if we're linked with a player, even if it has got a bit of meat to it, and I'm not interested, I'm just sort of like, can I really be arsed? But I can be arsed, so that's why we're here. So let's smile, hit the like button, and I'm very excited, as you can tell, because things have started to hot up over the last 24 hours. And subscribe if you are new. I keep on saying over the last few videos as well, we are so close to 17,000. I think last time I looked, it's like 15 more subscribers away from 17,000. I'll be so happy with that if we can hit 17k shortly and then push on to the Premier League season and go above and beyond 17k. That would be absolutely amazing. I love the support and thank you very much. But first and foremost, we will get into the nitty-gritty. I will start off with this gentleman here. You may recognise him. He was formerly of Manchester City many years ago. He was one of those players that I used to always pick up on FIFA. He's a left back. He can play as a winger as well. I think he can also maybe even move into midfield more centrally as well. But generally, he's known as a left wing back, and a very good left wing back at that. Currently playing for Roma. There has been rumours that he has turned down bids or talks with teams abroad or further afield in Saudi Arabia. And I know that money talks, so that could easily turn this away. But there has been genuine reports from big journalists in Italy that Sunderland are amongst clubs that are very interested in him, and apparently Angelino would be interested in joining the Premier League, i.e. with Sunderland, if something else doesn't come up. So this is the one that probably has the least meat to it at the moment. However, there is some kind of meat. If I say meat anymore, Jesus Christ, I'm hungry. I want a burger. But yeah, next on the list is a winger. Well, a winger that can also play as a striker. I do have him on my phone because I always mispronounce his name, or at least I believe I'm mispronouncing his name. His name is Armand Laurienté. It's either Laurienté or Laurienté. I'm not too sure. You can tell me in the comments. When it's a name like this, I always butcher it. But he is a winger. He plays for Sassuolo, currently in Serie B in Italy. He was a top goal scorer last year, 18 goals he scored last season. But that's not to say that he's never played in Serie A, where, of course, he was playing for Sassuolo. He had a couple of seasons there. He scored a few goals. Apparently, I think I've looked at some stats where he had like the sort of 3rd or 4th highest successful dribbling record over a course of a few seasons or something like that. Something along those lines anyway. But what does bode well with this lad, and I'm going to go in a bit more depth in a moment, but what does bode well for us is that he does have previous with Regis Lebris, because he did play for Lorient some time ago, and that is when Regis was the head of youth development there. So he does have a bit of a rapport with Regis Lebris, so he knows what he's getting into, and it looks like, because it has been reported by several reporters, including Sky Sports, that Sunderland are interested, or at least in talks with Sassuolo to try and get him. I believe the rumoured fee would be anywhere between 15 and 20 million euros, which is what the tag, which has also been put on Angelino. 20 million euros has been put on his head as well, which I think, when you look at it, yes, I know a lot of people will immediately say with this lad here, this winger Armand Laurienté, they will say, oh, it was 18 goals in the 2nd division in Italy. That's a poor division, and you can only score and you can only play against what's been put in front of you. And he had previous in Serie A as well anyway, so he has experience in one of the top 5 leagues across Europe. I think he's 25, 26 at the moment. But yeah, I'm not going to sit here and pretend I know loads about him, because I don't, but all I can do is do what everyone else has done, watching YouTube compilations. And I will admit, from the YouTube compilation, he looks like he's rapid, very direct, skillful on the ball. However, the sort of 18 goals, I think about 15 of them looked like he was against Lee Camp every time. The keeping ability in almost every single goal was utterly atrocious, not even just like fairly bad. it was really, really poor. But again, you can only score against what's put in front of you. You know, you can't knock the lad for scoring goals, which is somewhat you want. You want to bring someone who is on the up, in form, you know, maturing, 26 now, and it has a bit of experience across the top league. So I think that would be an absolutely fantastic signing as well. I would not be against that one. Like I said, he can play on the left wing. He can play as a striker or on the right, but he is primarily a left winger. So to get 18 goals from the wing anyway, I think that's very, very good going, regardless of the league. Now, that was pretty much going to be the video done. However, even after I made the thumbnail, so he isn't on the thumbnail at the moment, but this is actually probably the most exciting one for me. We have been linked with a goalkeeper, a 6'6" goalkeeper. For those of you who know me for a long time, I always and have been for years been screaming out for a big brick shithouse goalkeeper because I love him. And not only just a big brick shithouse goalkeeper, a very, very good one at that. It has been announced, or at least it was reported, should I say, by Fabrizio Romano. Of course, everyone knows who he is. Sunderland open talks to sign Polish goalkeeper Marcin Bulka as part of their ambitious project. Bulka has been approached by several clubs this summer, but SAFC are now in active talks with Nice at the moment. Now, he is the Polish goalkeeper, Poland goalkeeper, should I say. 6'6". I haven't seen loads of him. I've been aware of his name. Again, it's another one where I've had a look at some compilations, and he commands the box very well. He's made some fantastic saves, a plethora of experience, and only, I think, he's 25. And so there's so much more potential in him, and it already has a load of experience. And like I said, for Patterson, of course, I think he's redeemed himself gradually as the season went on, and that save at Wembley was incredible. The only worry I have, if I'm going to be nitpicky about a big, tall goalkeeper, is you worry about getting down quick enough. I don't think this Bulka here would have made that save that Patterson did at Wembley purely because of his height and his build. And he is a big lad, this keeper. Great at making himself big, shot stopping. If you have a look at some of his compilations and saves, you'll see that he is very good at doing that and commanding his box. Sometimes you look at him when he is going to the ground, it's a little bit slow potentially, but that's just me nitpicking and trying to compare to Patterson really. But if we're being totally honest, this lad is absolutely a level above, maybe several levels above Anthony Patterson, and I think that's what we're going to have to get used to, because I know that a lot of fans, including myself, we've got this attachment to this team now who will give us success in the Championship. However, a lot of this team are nowhere near Premier League ready, because the distance and the difference between Championship and Premier League is astronomical at the moment. Not many of our players could get away with playing with most Premier League teams, or at least getting into the squads, or so it feels like I'm battering them there. I'm not. I'm just saying like the difference is massive. It's absolutely huge. So even though these players that we have got an attachment to, we need to be brutally honest. A lot of them, I'm not saying get rid of the spine of the team and make it all brand new. Of course not. But a lot of these players aren't ready as much as we do have an attachment, and they are going to get replaced. And there are going to be players that are going to come in that you don't have that initial sort of affiliation with, and they're going to come in, and they're going to have to, because we need to get ourselves ready and stabilised in the Premier League. That is the goal this season. So players like, Sirkin, who looks like he's on his way out. Oh, no, he doesn't, sorry. There are rumours that Spurs are after him. I think Angelino's a better player. And by quite a bit at the moment. Not to say Sirkin won't become a better player than Angelino. I think Angelino's a better player than Sirkin right now. So that's what I mean. I love Sirkin. Angelino's a better player. End of story. I've grown to like Patterson more. I've had a very hit and miss relationship with him, and I think rightly so. However, Bulka, the Polish keeper, 6'6", he's played at a much higher level. He's better than Patterson. End of story. Patterson, of course, Sunderland lad. He's got potential to go on to do big, great things. But as of right now, to get that experienced head, and even at only 25, 26, in Bulka, big lad, commands the box. That's what you need in the Premier League. He's better than Patterson. Do you know what I mean? So I'm going off on a bit of a tangent, but I think it's just one of them we're going to have to accept that we are going to be bringing in players like that, because we do need to up the quality. But yeah, those are the three big ones at the moment. So I don't know what the value has been put on the goalkeeper said. I'm not too sure as of yet, but that is everything. Is there any of those players that you don't want to sign? Have you got any issues with any of them? For me, I think we've got a case for all of them. For me, Angelino at the moment looks the least likely. Laurienté. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong horribly. I don't even want to do it anymore because I know it pisses people off. You can tell us in the comments. I'm sure I'm getting battered. But I'm excited for all three. A left back, a winger who is on the back of a really good I'm tired, alright, I've just finished work. Goal scoring spree. I need to stop talking. And Bulka as well. Would you be happy with any of them? Would you want all of them? Let us know in the comments down below. I'll leave you there, guys. Won't keep on rambling and boring you. Subscribe if you're new. Like. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. How are you, lads? Keep the faith.